You guys remember when Gears of War let you play as the bad guy? Yeah, I'm so serious. Like, as the big bad villain, with even some minor, like, really minor, like, story implications. And there's not a lot of games that do this, honestly. The only game I can think of off the top of my head that has let you play as a bad guy is Halo, for Halo 2, when you played as the Arbiter. Remember, like, you were the bad guy for a moment. The Arbiter was the Covenant, and after Reach, and 1, and before, you know, he became best friends with the Master Chief, he was on the enemy team when you're hunting down the Heretic. So I was thinking, I was like, there's not a lot of games that let you on the other side of the battlefield. And honestly, I can see why. Letting, like, people, or letting the fan base on the other side of the war, especially when the enemy is like cool as hell, it's got a little bit of aura to them, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I can see why, like, they're the bad guy. You don't want to, you know, heroize, I don't think that's a word. You don't want to, you know, make your bad guys seem like the good guys when they're the bad guys. So I was looking into what specifically, like, what Gears of War game had this, and then I completely forgot that I bought the DLC when I was a kid.
Bitch.
For my Xbox 360. I actually knew exactly what Gears of War DLC, what game it was on, and, like, I knew exactly where this was. As a matter of fact, in the big 2025, I paid $8 for it. Am I proud of it? No, but what you're about to see, you're gonna see why it's worth the $8. $8 taken from my wallet, and we are already thrown into chaos and destruction because it's Gears of War and nobody can ever be happy in this universe. And immediately we're hit with 4 new people, and as a child that grew up not knowing there were novels and comics about the Gears of War universe, I was very perplexed not seeing Delta Squad, you know, here. And that's because we aren't Delta Squad. We are playing as Zeta Squad, which consists of 4 Gears, 2 returning, and 2, I believe, making their first in-game debut in the Gears of War series. The 2 returning being the young, beautiful, bald Min Young Kim, Ty Kaliso before he became a huge Kurt Cobain fan, the baddie Alicia Valera, and the stogie-wielding, balding, badass Michael Barrick. These 4 Gears turning, they power up the squad known as Zeta Squad with one simple task: evacuate the entirety of Aluma City. Yep, you heard me. The entirety of the city, 9 years after Emergence Day, and we are not exactly winning this fight. As you can see, we are in the trenches so deep that the Krill is still around, making trouble and causing mayhem and destruction for all. And when I mean, oh my god! Yay, hooray, the civilians I just spent so much time trying to save are just gone like that. Like you just, giant freaking spider from the ground just legitimately annihilated all of them. Again, nobody can be happy. Nobody can be happy in Gears of War. After quickly coming to terms that none of the families in that caravan will ever be seen again, it turns into an absolute bloodbath. We're talking boomers, grinders, drones, grenadiers, reavers, not the whole 9 yards, because we're going to see that the 9 yards later in this DLC definitely get there. They're throwing a good chunk of Locust at us, a great inconvenience of Locust at us here. But an inconvenience is exactly what it is, an inconvenience, something that needs to be handled. And with the stogie still in my mouth, by the way, we start hitting them back with some heavy artillery. I'm talking mortar fire, sniper fire, chainsaws. I'm gonna be honest, we're throwing a considerable amount of 9 yards at them. I'm throwing the whole bitch at them, honestly. As Ty literally Goomba stomps on top of a drone, attaboy. Eventually the situation is dealt with as I come over to this funky looking computer over here and cast Fire Beam of Death from the sky. I think this is the first time I've ever seen the little funky computer, like, mobile unit used for the Hammer of Dawn. Regardless, we use it, and it sounds exactly like it plays. The Hammer of Dawn, giant beam from the sky. With that being said, everything else is literally eviscerated on the ground. Reavers, boomers, grinders don't stand a chance against a giant fire beam from the sky. I wonder why we don't use this thing all the time. After the firefight is said and done, we are tasked with finding and locating Echo Squad to push further into the city and assist Echo Squad with whatever they've, you know, got going on. Because obviously, Echo Squad definitely has stuff going on. After navigating through some buildings and pushing through some alleyways, we find, that's not Echo Squad, a Brumok! We find a Brumok! Yay! Hip, yippee! Hooray! Brumok! Everybody's favorite Gears of War character that's somehow dodging these hammer strikes. Can I talk to the guy behind the satellite? Because how do you go 0 for 3 from the field with hammer strikes? Those are tax dollars, my G. Like, you just missed the entire target 3 times. Surely that won't affect the campaign later in the game. Anyways, we start pushing through these alleyways where we find some weird monkey dogs. Honestly, I did get scared, which is why I automatically upped the chainsaw on them and chained through one. Then their owner showed up like it's my fault that they left their dog in my front yard. My bad, OG. He just ran into my chainsaw. I don't see how that's my fault. I then proceeded to gun them down because HOA's a bitch in this neighborhood, and I'm not trying to get a $2,000 fine for chainsawing somebody else's dog in my front lawn. I thought this was America. Actually, this is Sarah. But that's besides the point. We gun down these grubs, make it through this building, enter into this firefight where we find Echo Squad! Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. Yeah, no, they're all gone. They're all gone. From there, more locusts appear to pop out of the ground, and within a bloodlusted and malice-filled rage, I proceed to spin back for Echo Squad. Rip my day ones, I didn't even get to switch up on you. Rest in peace. And finally, after that bloodbath and avenging Echo Squad, we can continue with the story and begin to... son of a bitch. Boomers and blood mounts pop out of the ground because for some reason they think Echo Squad is still a threat. If they thought Zeta Squad was still a threat, they would have sent the entire army. They only sent a small battalion to deal with Echo Squad, and Echo Squad has been dead, so we easily mop up these guys. Which leads us finally into the bank, the place that we were going for the entire time, where Echo Squad should have been inside. And for some reason, this part of my footage looks really, really weird. Why is it blue?
Why are you blue?
Not much happened in the bank. Flame Grenadier here, regular Grenadier there. There's a wrench around here. Everybody's down. It's absolutely mayhem and pandemonium. We're using the bread as cover. The only thing that happens in the bank that's important is we find our 5th and final member of Zeta Squad. Jace. We find Jace. This was before Jace was entering his light skin prime. So we have a young, ruthless, reckless, very tall, handsome, light-skinned man. After freeing our real prize, our Pookie Jace from the bank vault, we head up the stairs to hear over the comms that the sky is getting darker and a storm is approaching. But I don't need the comms to tell me what's coming next. Can you feel it? The aura. With every step we take, it seeps through the bank walls. You can feel it in the floors. Something, someone is approaching with an aura so palpable you can't help but feel it as he rises from the earth.
We poppin' this shit right now, I'm just high, walk, can't feel myself, yeah. She's tree type, so trying to power, yeah. Hit it one time, never mind. Hit it one time, you not. In the middle of the field, throw me a bomb, don't it be like criminal. Stand in the field.
For all y'all that don't know, we are not just playing as any kind of locust. We're playing as the Locust General himself, as he proceeds to flip a car with his bare hands, command a flock of flesh-eating termites, and proceed to bust through a concrete wall! You do not understand the power that I wield between my hands via Xbox controller. At this point in the game, General Rom has been the High General of the Locust for 9 years. We are talking 10 feet tall, 600 pounds of pure Locust muscle. And if you don't believe me, just watch and learn, buddy. It's not even about the mission objective anymore. It's about sending a message as he picks him up with one hand and cuts his head off. Or how about this? How about this? What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do if a 10-foot freaking creature is charging at you with a 12-inch blade? And I haven't even touched on the fact that he's got the krill. If you don't know what the krill is, again, they are basically flesh-eating bugs that he has at his command. He points and you're freaking chewed through. Literally! Look! And we've been talking about this whole time, talking about a storm. That's the storm. The Locusts are inking Illuma City so the krill can chew through the city. And you may be wondering, Marcus, how are they doing this? They're using these things called cedars, and cedars black out the sky because krill burn in sunlight. Just like that, your city has been marked for death. So the cedars just ink the sky, and the krill chews through everything in the city. Yeah, this is like some super evil plan shit. This is like just complete and utter genocide of the human race or whatever. The locusts really got beef with us apparently for some reason. And it says it. It's like, oh, just use flames and explosives to get through the krill. But even if you did that, you still have the 10-foot, 600-pound general to deal with. Let me get this straight. Explosive support? Nah. Sniper support? Nah. Okay. How about some air support?
Fuck no, baby.
I mean, dude, what more could I want? What more could I want? As a child, I begged my mother to take me to GameStop to buy a $15 Xbox card, the Microsoft points, so I could then go into Gears of War and buy this DLC. And then, when I lost my Xbox 360 and now I'm on my Xbox One, I made an irresponsible adult decision to pay another $8 for said DLC. And you know what? I don't regret it. I also haven't brought up the fact that we're rolling 5 deep. 2 Elite Maulers, 1 Elite Theron Guard. Back in the day, I thought it was 2, but I only saw 1 during my playthrough. So, 1 Elite Theron Guard and a Thumper. The Thumper summons the Cedar. And the Elite Theron Guards have retro-charged sawed-off shotguns. Meaning if you have a friend and you choose to play this DLC, they will play as the Theron Guard and be able to charge into gears, knock them up with the retro charge, and then he will just pull the trigger and snap them in half. I probably shouldn't have been playing this at a young age, but I did, and now we're here. So from there, it's pretty simple. General Rom and the gang proceed to legitimately eviscerate, destroy, spread the cheeks of, and clap everything in front of them. As we summon the second Cedar and I proceed to confront a mech that is only half my size with a full-grown man in the mech helm, as 5 locusts proceed to legitimately dog walk the entire boulevard of COG in front of me, including turrets, more concrete walls, because fuck those concrete walls. As everybody else is put into this minced meat maker we know as the Krill Storm, we proceed to knock everybody off the block, destroy everybody around us, and summon the third Cedar. And if that wasn't enough, General Rom's got the Queen whispering in his ear, twirling his hair, caressing his neck, telling him to do bad things with bad intentions. And hey, that's just what an alt baddie will do for you, chat. Do you blame General Rom for doing what he's doing? I digress. We cut back to Zeta Squad as they are still in the bank, not knowing what just happened to the checkpoint in front of them, that General Rom is boots on the ground, clapping the cheeks of every gear that was in that street. And just like that, Zeta Squad leaves the bank and... Can we pause for a second and talk about how Locust snipers apparently are up there with Halo 2 legendary Jackal snipers? Because if it's a random NPC, they're just not gonna miss. There's no chance for survival. Even if you are a named character, put these fuckers in FaZe Clan. After the terrifying display of sniper activity in front of them, we put down these Lee Harvey Oswalds. We then proceed to blitz their front line, shotgunning and gunning down every locust in front of us, plugging up the hole in front of us, and then we turn the corner and hooray, yay, there's an entire mortar crew, and they do not miss at all. Eventually, we get up, avenge our fallen brothers that have died by sniper rifle with more sniper fire, then proceed to get flanked, and absolutely flanked, as 2 holes appear in the ground and locusts begin to pour out. This actually turns into a really awkward and unexpected firefight, but I gather them around the campfire and sing a campfire song as I proceed to roast them like marshmallows. Also, there are boomers here. I got it in my hands. Do I get to say it? Do I get to say it just once? Alright. Boom. After picking up some new weapons, we are then told that Nemesis are all over the evac point, and we are to eliminate a bunch of Cedars before an evac caravan arrives. With this new objective in mind, Zeta Squad also lets Command know over comms that Locust Elite and General Rom have been spotted in the city. Then told that Chairman Prescott is also aware of said situation, and he is deploying Onyx Guard, which is basically the special forces of Gears, into the city to deal with the situation. And we all know they will certainly deal with the situation, like the Onyx Guard always does. After rushing through the building, we come out to the other side of the street where we have located the 3 Cedars milking the earth. Wait. Clouding the sky. I apologize. I don't know why that was on the script. And what's the quickest way to deal with Cedars? Exactly. If you said bring down the entire front half of the building, you'd be correct. Because that is exactly what we did. And when I mean the front half of the building, I mean the entire front half of the building. Oh, nice. You know, with all the stuff that's thrown at a Zeta Squad, I'm very happy with how we deal with everything. I mean, look, the caravan pulls up, great timing, just dealt with the Cedars, man. Everybody's gonna get out of here alive, dog. You know, man, this is what it's about. Being the light in the vast darkness of this evil world. That's what it means to be a gear. Not only to be a hero, but a savior. Ah, son of a bitch. Side note, like, this thing is actually tough to take down on harder difficulties. You're supposed to shoot boom shots at it, but it takes like 14 to kill the Brumach. So no matter what happens, you're gonna lose like a little caravan or whatever. And if you decide to pop your head out at the wrong time, you're just gonna get eviscerated. But after multiple and numerous amounts of boom shots, just all over its face, everywhere, busted on this thing, for goodness sakes.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
The Brumach finally goes down.
That big bastard did not go quietly.
Indeed, he did not, Michael. Indeed. After this, we drop Jace off at daycare, send him on with the caravan. However, I don't think this is the last time we will be seeing him. After that, we begin Chapter 3 of Rom's Shadow, Hide and Seek. Who's hiding? Who's seeking? I guess we'll have to find that out in part 2. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this overview, this go through, this walkthrough, this playthrough, this video essay, whatever you want to call it, of Rom's Shadow, consider dropping a like, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell so when part 2 drops, you are notified. And until next time, you guys will see me again. Mark my words. See you soon. Deuces.